We waste so much time on, like I said, many emotions. Of course we're human, and of course we're going to feel hurt, and of course we're going to worry about things. But when you have complete faith, really, everything just drops away. Everything drops away. And we're talking about healing emotions. And before you can reach the highest goal, recognizing the higher self, you also have to understand your personal self. What are the emotions that keep on coming back to you again and again and again? Notice them. This is the way forward. You just, sometimes people read these spiritual books and they go, I'm meditating, I've met God, and they have so many problems on earth, and wherever they go, they create problems. Sort yourself out. This is the place to start. This is healing your emotions. And guess what? Everything you have is right here inside of you, but you have to believe it. You really have to know it. So long as we grasp and think the outside world can heal us, we will always be grasping. What the outside world can do for us is share the joy, share the knowledge. This is what we can get from the outside world. We can get knowledge to help ourselves progress. So we get knowledge where we need it, then we decipher what is good for us, and then we heal what is good for us. It's no point wanting to change your wife, your husband, your best friend, or somebody else. I remember when I first started this path, and I was sitting in front of Gurudev in many, many satsangs, and I would be thinking, oh, you know what? Really, my husband should be listening to this. And when I got home and meditated deeply, and I said, absolutely not. It was meant for me. That's why I'm there. It wasn't meant for him. I'm not looking at me. I'm thinking he needed to hear it, when the message was really, I'm here because I needed to hear it, not him. And so every time I was at satsang and my mind would go off, oh, I wish this person could hear this. Nalanie, the reason why you are here, it's you that needs to fix yourself. I love that message. For me it was so clear, kept on reminding me again and again, because you see, emotions sometimes stay stuck in our body for a long time. So how do you know, and how do you work with it, and why people talk so much about chakras today? Let me explain a little bit about chakras and your emotions. There's so much out there. If you Google everything, you will get so confused as I did many years ago. And my master said, know the simple truths about your subtle body. Know the simple truth, but don't get carried away in doing so much stuff on your body, because you can move energy that's not ready to be moved. You have slow and steady wins the race. I am so grateful that he kept telling me that, because throughout my yoga practices in the early years, everybody would come to me because they knew I was starving for spiritual knowledge. Oh, come to my master, he'll raise your Shakti. Come to my teacher because she will do something for you, or he will. And I went, no, I will listen. But my master said to me very clearly, don't let people play around with you. And I'm a bit particular. And if a person is peaceful, I will go to them. It's just the way I am. If I see a person is very disturbed, I won't go to them. For me, this is common sense, right? If a person's going to heal me, that person has to have some sense of peace themselves. Would you agree? And if they're very nervous, I'd be scared of them touching me. So be wise. Recently, many times I've had phone calls, especially from women that have told me that they've been at schools where the yoga teachers, start to make sexual advances towards them. This is not one or two I'm talking about. I'm talking about many. And they come out to me later on because they're damaged goods. They're so hurt. They are so hurt that somebody they trusted. But of course, if you trust somebody and they really, really love you and they tell you not to talk about it, the moment somebody tells you not to say the truth, please be careful. Because what are the premises of yoga? Non-violence, truthfulness. None of us are perfect. And we all have something to work on. So how do you work with the chakras, and how do they help? They help when you understand them properly. For example, if you are feeling worried about finances, okay? Finances, what does that tell you? Oh, we'll have enough money. It will tell you that you don't feel well grounded on this earth, right? You have a lot of fear based around material things. If you worry about people comparing what you have with other people, when you're constantly thinking about material goods are going to make you happy, that means you are not well grounded in yourself, because you are under the false illusion that the world can make you happy through material goods. So, and if you don't get what you want, what's going to suffer? That chakra that is connected to the material goods. Which chakra is that? Muladhara chakra. The insecurity, or you're very sick and you might lose your life. It's connected with being grounded on earth, and the fear comes up. Again, the Muladhara chakra is moved because you don't feel well grounded, you don't know where you're going. Or it could be that you are too materialistic is one, and too unmaterialistic is the other one of not being grounded. If you go up to the higher chakras, you're always meditating, but you can't get along with people on earth, you have a big problem with your Muladhara chakra. And I've seen this, okay, many times in my life, and these people end up schizophrenic or bipolar or totally disturbed, because they have all the meditation here, they have all the knowledge, but they're totally not grounded. Doesn't matter, I have this, so I'm realized. They go home, they start screaming, swearing at their family, because they're realized. Oh, I'm connected to God, so I don't have to do my housework, or I don't have to work. People should work for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Not well grounded. All the great masters said, to be grounded, we need to be on this earth, and we need to have self-independence. We should not be so dependent on everybody else. We need to be independent. So when you start to learn about the chakras, learn how they affect you. So what do? Then you know, okay, now I know this is my problem. I'm worrying about finances. So, and it will affect the lower part of my body. For example, you may notice that knees, legs, you know, the inability to move forward in life. You know, I don't know what my next step is. I'm scared. The inability that these chakras, the base chakra, will affect you. So the next chakra, which is the Swadhisthana chakra, which is right here, just under your navel, and it affects your genitals, and it is the chakra of communication. Are you communicating with your partner? Are you communicating with your friends well? If you are constantly at loggerheads with your partner, at loggerheads with your friends, can't make decisions, then that chakra with communication will have some problems. If you have too much sex, you will have problems. If you have too little sex, you will have problems. So it's always a balance, because that's going on in your head. So you need to work things out and make peace with yourself. What are your needs? And it's important to tell people. It's important to be honest in your relationship, because most people I know, or me, are not honest in their relationship. If it's too little, they just hide in a corner and feel guilty and feel rejected and feel not good enough. And those who have too much are angry at that, and they're always thinking about sex, and nothing else. And they're like angry because I have too much energy, and they get this temper, this huge temper, and they don't even understand why. You see, nothing is bad. It's not a fault. It's just the way we are made. We're connected to our spiritual body. And why does that happen? To tell us, warn us of things that we need to look at. That is also the level of communication. So if you're not communicating in a loving way with your partner, it's going to affect you, whether you like it or not. We're human. This is the way we are made, whether we like it or not. So you need to talk about it. And this is where, when you are not critical of your partner or your friends, this is where the communication will relax. Are you constantly needy? Are you constantly asking? Are you constantly angry? Well, course, who's going to want to make love to you if you're like that? Do you get it? Are you getting it? It's not their fault. So the more anger you produce, the less likely you're going to have some fun. Got it? So this happens a lot. This happens in more relationships that you would believe. And it's so sad, because if they just understand that and work with their partner gently, and instead of screaming, shouting, I want, I need, let's harmonize, let's be more romantic, let's go on a little honeymoon together, just you and me, let's leave kids with somebody for a little while. Really, you need to do that if you want your marriage or your relationship to last, because this is where, people can really get close in a marriage. And this is what you need to work on. People go, how much is this? How much sex should I have? No, don't think like that. Every couple is different. Some people need more, some people need less. You know yourself, okay? Know yourself. And then communication. When communication is bad, this doesn't work. The color of this chakra is orange. Isn't it interesting that the monks wear orange and they're celibate? Isn't it interesting, right? So to make that energy complete without the outward action, that's the color orange, because colors also affect us tremendously. All right? Okay, this is the abdomen, right? Your body talks to you. Learn to heal your emotions by understanding also that your body talks to you. It is your good friend. It is your doctor. That's why I love you people to take Hatha Yoga classes. You get more in tune to what's happening in your body. Most of the time things are happening in our body. We're not even aware of it. They're telling us stories. Listen to the stories your body will tell you. You will have pain in those parts of the bodies where emotion is stuck. So, these are things that will bring up these old memories that we've locked in for a long time. Children who've been abused, they have these, what do they call it today? PTSD, right? They had it for always, huh? It's just that people never looked at it before. So these things stay stuck in the body. And for me, the abdomen has been one of the ones that I've worked with a lot, in the heart. Because I like to work with the higher chakras, because I think if you heal your heart and you heal your fears, everything else starts to work. So I always start from the abdomen, and you all know that when you're nervous, kids, my grandchildren, for example, when they were doing their A-levels, my granddaughter, the oldest one, who loves school, who's really bright, and always good, but because she had to prove herself, because she never failed, and she always got top marks, what happens? High expectations of yourself. So during the A-levels, Granny, I'm really ill. No, you're not really ill. Do the deep relaxation. But Granny, I'm really ill. So of course the mother gets worried, takes her to the doctor and says, Shani, I'm telling you, it's just nerves. She has such a high expectation of herself that she fears failing. So of course, what happens? Your stomach's going to go crazy when you get up in the morning. It's not going to want to eat. You're going to get nervous. What if I don't do well enough? Will I get to the university of her choice? And my daughter tells her, doesn't matter, Tara. Even if you get 0, we know you've done your best. But you can't convince somebody of that age. When they want to do it, they want to do it. So as soon as exams were over, guess what? Pain gone. 3 days before results come up, guess what? Pain comes up. Do you see? It's emotional. And nowadays, lots of teenagers and lots of young people have this pain, and they're coming to me with this anxiety, or getting a new job, or going into a new business, have these emotions. I'm very anxious. No, you're just having some change in your life. That's all. Know it, what to do. So I teach them what to do. Of course, the great tools of yoga work. They really work. But recognizing what emotion is disturbing you is really half the journey. Then you have to wait and give it time to heal. All right? Please give yourself, all of you out there, give yourself time to heal. What is the rush? We are eternal. So long as you are peaceful at your moment of death, and you have much time to become peaceful, doesn't matter we have the problems, because if we are peaceful, we will go to the planet of the peace. And when we have to come back the next lifetime, if you really know that energy just never dies, it just replaces itself with something else and have a new body, that new body will be efficient and you will come back to continue your work. You will come back to continue your work, as you all have, as you can see. Otherwise you would not be sitting in this room, because you already know you are spirit, you already know you are soul. And now you just have to believe that, connect with the divine inside, because the powerhouse is everywhere. It's not only for a few people. Please, this is the story you have to keep telling people. And the only way to heal that is actually to love yourself a little bit more. Love yourself a little bit more. And I don't mean by loving yourself, oh, I have to be selfish. No, loving yourself is, you will just do things that make you happy sometimes, like sing a song, take a day off, and don't call yourself lazy when you take a day off, and watch some nice movies once in a while, and don't feel guilty about it. No guilt stuff. There's too much guilt around spirituality. You know, I remember I was, everybody before, when I started practicing yoga, I was told, you shouldn't watch movies, turn off the TV, don't do this, don't do that. So I did all the don't. And I was like, this. And I went to Hong Kong, my father, Nalanie, why are you eating Rivita for breakfast and chamomile tea? Do you think this is really healthy for you? What's wrong with you? Have a nice piece. I'll buy you good brown bread. Have a nice bread. It's more nutritious than a new piece of Rivita. And I looked at him and I said, oh my God, he's absolutely right. He lived till he was 86. What are you doing? All this don't. And then when Gurudev one day said to me, oh Nalanie, yesterday Prem Anjali took me to see a James Bond film. He's very good. He got all these gadgets. He loved gadgets. So I thought, what are we being told? You see, when you hold back so much, you're not living the life. The secret is balance. Nothing in extreme. Too many movies, your brain will turn dull. There are days when you sit down in front of the TV screen for many hours. How do you feel after that? A bit vomiting. Have you had that feeling? You feel like you feel sick, your body tells you. Too much. This is too much now. Watching a good movie now and then, no problem. Your body tells you. You watch too much negative news, how do you feel? Fearful, frightened. Your mind is everywhere, and everywhere's, I'm going to get COVID. Why? Your body is telling you, don't do this to me. You're filling yourself, I don't want this, I cannot handle it. Get enough information, not overdo. Do you see? Not too much and not too little, because you also don't want to be ignorant. You need to know what's going on in the world. But this is all the time the middle path. This is with our emotions too. Even when you get very, very excited, it's not good for you, because high highs bring low lows. You all know that. And also, oh, my life is working so well. Fear. What if tomorrow something goes wrong? And then this fear, I'm so happy now. What if tomorrow goes wrong? The stress of what if tomorrow goes wrong. Another emotion. You know what? I'm here now. And now is all I have. Now is all I have. Again, tell yourself again and again. Now is all I have. Keep the peace. And when your mind goes everywhere, remember the saying, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the present, your gift, your golden present. This is your gift. We lose a lot of our time. But how? But if? And I tell people, okay, if you lose your money tomorrow, come and connect with us at the yoga center. We're a charity. We'll feed you. Now are you happy? You will have food. You will have a bed. And if 20 people leave their jobs, they can all come and sleep at the yoga center. Are you happy now? You will never, you are not dead. And when I tell them that, when people come to me and they get really scared about their finances, and I really can understand. I can understand. But what's happening is the more fear they have, then they go for other interviews, and the fear is coming out and the desperation is coming out. Nobody's going to hire them. Do you see? So I have to train them to be very relaxed when they go for their interviews, and not to let these emotions or fears take over the mind, because nobody's going to hire somebody who's nervous or frightened, are they? They're going to hire somebody with confidence. So again and again, this is why the meditation practices are vital. Stop everything if you want, but don't stop your quiet time with the divine. Don't ever stop that. Have 10 minutes alone every day if you can't do more. But just have 10 minutes alone. And if you don't, I can't sit and meditate, Nalanie. Okay, but everybody can walk by the sea. Everybody can walk in the woods. Everybody can have music that makes them feel peaceful. Start there. Really start there. Just put on some nice music, and you will see that when you relax, you will just enjoy that music and say, this is what I have, and this is my connection with the divine. This is, my emotions are all over the place. And once I stop this meditation, they can go back to all over the place. But these 10 minutes belong to me. My peace, my peace. And the mind will allow you to do that because it knows you can go back to all the nonsense later. But what does this do to your psyche? What does this do to your emotional body? And what does this do to your astral body, your chakras, for example? What does it do to them? It gets them, those 10 minutes is like medicine for them. Those 10 minutes. So you apply this medicine 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes every day, and you get stronger and stronger and stronger and more connected and more connected. You think you may not be, but you are. You have more control over your mind. And you'll notice. And I always say to all my students, please keep a diary, spiritual diary. Please keep a spiritual diary. Why a spiritual diary? Because 1 year later, spiritual diary and emotional diary. What I'm going through with my emotions. Why am I feeling like this? 1 year after practice, look at your diary. You'll be writing totally differently. And wow, was this really me? Did I really think like this? And that gives you the encouragement to continue your practices. Otherwise, you'll stop and start. And Sri Patanjali says very clearly, to the keen and intent practitioner, this samadhi, this peace, comes very quickly. And he says, but what do you have to do? You have to practice for a long time, without a break, and with all your heart. So people meditate for a year, they stop. 2 years, oh, I haven't learned anything, I'm not better. And this goes on forever. Do you see? So don't make the breaks. Don't make the breaks. So what happens if you get a little depressed during meditation and your mind is focused on those emotions, I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling good? Don't stop the practice. Instead, like I said, sit on the same place and try to listen to things that uplift you. Even though you don't believe them, it's okay. Listen to somebody else inspire you. Really part of my practice for the first 20 years of my life, my yoga life, I see my life as 2 parts, actually 4, but never mind. And the one thing that really helped me was listening to my master half an hour every morning. Every single morning. It was worth me getting up an hour early to, I would meditate first, then do I wouldn't do an hour session. I knew the posture, so I would take 20 minutes and then listen to my master for half an hour. Guess what that was doing to my brain? You do that for 20 years, what happens? Words like real freedom is enjoying whatever you do. Nalanie, make peace your God. Don't you know you're a child of God? Don't you know everybody is? Don't you know that the divine is in you? Don't you know the divine is really consciousness that lives everywhere, but the spark is inside of you? These messages go in deep and deep and deep, and as those messages of love come through your body and you see how much you are loved, then you start to do things that make your life very balanced. And you don't make judgments on yourself. I'm such a bad person. No, I'm a great soul. I just did a bad action. So if I do something that is wrong, what do? I'm sorry. That's it. Don't do it again. That's the fool. I'm sorry. Don't do it again. Listen, your body is telling you. Okay? So this is how and that's how the chakras work. They tell you what's wrong. Heartbreak. You all know heartbreak. It's horrible, isn't it? You lose someone and you break up. It's really painful. You think you are going to have a heart attack. So what do? What do you need when you have a heartbreak? You need love around you to heal. So instead of closing yourself, I'm so hurt, I'm so hurt, I'm so hurt, what's that going to do to your heart? I'm not going to love again, I'm not going to care again, I suffered the loss, I suffered what? Doesn't work. You're not going to get better. So be around love, be willing to receive love. Many times, I can do it. But all of us are human beings that thrive on love. We thrive on it. This is our medicine. So allow yourself to be loved. Allow people to love you. Allow people to help you. Allow it. So, and then the higher chakras, the next one, actually they all work in conjunction with each other. Your emotions. Notice. Do you say the truth? Or do you talk too much? This one will be very imbalanced when you talk too much. Because it's hiding, something you don't want to hear, right? If you are talking all the time, can you hear?
No.
Correct. You cannot hear. So learn to listen well. Otherwise, this chakra will be, you cannot be realized while you are so into you. People have to hear what I'm saying, I'm doing. You cannot. You can pray, you can meditate, but you're blocking yourself. You're getting the emotions, and then you get frustrated. Why am I so upset today? I'm a good person, I do everything right. Why nothing working? Why am I upset? I meditate, I do this. But you haven't handled your problem. Are you getting emotions, how they block us? You haven't handled your emotions. Do you tell the truth when something is disturbing you? Are you always shouting at people? Do you have to get your way only by raising your voice? Or can you get your way with just saying, I'm not happy with this situation, can we sit down and talk? They don't want to talk? Well, your loss, I need to talk. And if you want this to work, then we both need to talk. But let's do it nicely, let's do it with love. And the first thing you do before pointing fingers is, if I have hurt you, because I believe totally in my life, it takes two hands to clap. So instead of pointing your finger, say, if I have done something to you to invoke or create this behavior towards me, I'm really sorry. Tell me what it is. You tell me what I have done. You see, you admit yourself, and then that person will relax. Tell me what I need to change in me, please. And you know what? Then everything relaxes. Everything relaxes. And the person will say, you know, actually, I also feel like this about you. Because we always think we are right and everybody else is wrong. And that's far from the truth. Because we wouldn't be with the people we're with unless we had something to learn. And then the higher chakras, if you're all the time just thinking of spirit, 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 and you're not grounded, like I said, you can develop schizophrenia. This is why I worry so much about people taking drugs. Okay? Drugs, good, bad, I'm not even going to go into that argument. All I know is when I was 18 years old and I was studying fine arts and child psychology, every Friday I worked at a volunteer place where young people on drugs, they had a rehab place, right? And because I was studying psychology and I wanted to use art to help people, I went into this place where all these teenagers had been on drugs, but they had opened what they call the third eye or the other dimension when they weren't ready, and they all ended up poquito loco. Really little mad. And when I saw that, I was so scared. Why would you want to do this to yourself? Why would you want to do it to yourself? Because when you play around with your nervous system, you're playing around with your nervous system. It's really quite dangerous. So the higher emotions, people think if you meditate on the higher chakras, you'll be realized. No, all of them work together. It's like, you know, have you seen, when you were young, did you have those toys that, you know, they had lots of circles, and then you pull a string and they'd all, any of you seen those? I guess you're so much younger than me. So we didn't have all these modern toys. We had these great toys, and you pull a string and all the wheels would go and they'd all go spinning, 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 and we just love to look at it because at one point, even though they were all different colors, they would look like one color, right? And they would look like they were all still. When they were spinning so quick, they were so peaceful. Because they were all spinning perfectly in tune with each other. And that's how I think of our emotions. When we settle them, not judge them, work with them, all of them start to spin. They're called, chakras means wheels of energy in our body. They are connected to our subtle body, our astral body, which is the soul body. And it comes with all the lessons that I'd learned from previous lives. We call them samskaras, memories. And in this life, we choose to overcome them and reach samadhi. This is our wish, to get some peace while we're living on earth. It's today you need to find your peace, not tomorrow. It's now that you need to find your peace, not tomorrow. And the truth is, as my master would say to me again and again, Nalanie, you are already peace. You just messed it up with your thoughts. But you are already peace. No, you are not your thoughts. No, the emotions come to teach you what your thoughts are. And those emotions help you. Because if this makes you feel ill, work on courage. Work on trust. This is what I need to know. I need to trust myself more, trust my family more, or trust my world more. Or trust my family less, trust my world less, and trust the divine more. You see, it's a paradox. Each of us have different lessons to learn. Some of us need to disconnect from the families, and some need to connect more with the families. That's why you have to know yourself so well, so that you make the right decision. And of course, having the laws of yoga, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-greed, moderation helps and guides you on this path. It gives you the tools that you need. Okay, today I'm being very violent. I'm screaming at somebody for no reason. I'm just shouting at somebody for no reason because I am frustrated, I'm screaming at you. Because I am frustrated, not you. I am frustrated. You getting it? So, then you see it, then you sit with it, you see how it feels inside. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You've just disrupted your whole home, your whole family. And then keep that memory, not going there again. And the next time you get into that mood, you see that picture. I learned from my mistake. I'm not going there again. And the more times you do that, that just drops because you don't like it anymore. And this is how you heal your emotions. And like I said, there's so much to go through. But next week we'll continue and talk about the top chakra and what it means as well. I'm not going deeply into it. There's no need. I just want you to start to learn a little bit about your body and work at healing yourself. Also, if you can, go to some hatha yoga classes because they actually work on those centers. If you notice, cobra, open the chest, this, and bow pose. You work on your spine, but you also work on all your intestines physically, which helps you. And at the same time, all the emotional blocks, what I do with the fingers, you are doing yourself with your body because it's pressing against the floor. Yeah. So, and when you start to see that, you use your body as medicine, you start to heal very quickly.